Alright, hello and welcome to Street2Track Wednesday night series now starting, hosted by myself, Black Friday. This is the MARC cars. We are taking a concept of a car that's actually offered as a Ford Focus slash Mazda 3 with a V8 body in it for real racing, MARC car spec 1. We've recreated it as close as possible into game, and we're using this concept moving forward with engine swap cars, kind of race prepped. So here we are, round 1. This is the beginning of something great. Welcome in, guys, welcome in everyone. Still about just over half an hour till we kick off the qualifying. We're starting to see a few people kind of start to drip into the lobby. We've got a few people in, but only 4 people in their cars at the moment. Ando's in the pits, but we've got Nakedy, Chibi and Maddie Smacker going around and getting some last minute preparations in. It is quite tricky, I will say, to drive these cars at their limit every single lap. You've got to kind of take it a bit easier than what you think, but nonetheless we will get ourselves prepared. So we will have a look at some of these cars. We've got Nakedy in a Zack Speed car, blue and white, colourful rim glowing. It's a nice simple livery, but it still works, doesn't it? We've got Chibi off to the side here. He's stopped. He's having a cup of tea in a nice silver looking Sea West car, light blue and grey by the looks of it. So his one looks nice. I will say my favourite one that I've seen in the channel so far is this thing. Maddie Smacker with an Alienware livery that absolutely slaps. That's been my favourite looking livery so far from what I've seen in the testing, what I've seen in the channels, but you never know, someone could top it, but at the moment that's my favourite. Absolutely slaps that livery. Alright, so just bear with me for a couple of moments. We'll stay on board here while I just get myself prepared. So Nakedy and Maddie Smacker are going around and around, getting some last minute practice in. About half an hour till we kick off the races. Ando's sitting nice and comfortably in the pits. He may be tinkering with his tune or not. We've got a few more in the lobby at the moment. They're probably just taking their cars off track so that they can get some tuning done. Just show you what it's like to drive one of these cars around the track. We've got Goju and Brocky in the room now, Foz in the room now, sorry. As you can see, not really aggressive, a bit of a big lag spike there. As you can see, not really aggressive on that steering wheel, nice and smooth inputs. Tiptoe this car around, you've got half the battle done. You can't over push it. It is all-wheel drive, so it will be a little bit forgiving, but you've got to kind of get it pointed, ready for the corner exit before you fully plan it. Absolutely amazing livery by Matty Smacker there. Goji's out, we love this one too, the Sprunk livery. Green and black with bubbles everywhere. That's another amazing looking car. We've got Ando in the Road Sick car. So if you haven't heard of them, Road Sick are a team that's involved in other leagues in Gran Turismo. It's good to see a Road Sick branded car over here at Street2Track at the moment, Ando representing them tonight. Now Fozzie, here's a nice looking car at the Brocky Sim Racing Boxer Beauty Focus. Those are trademark colours of Brocky Sim Racing. We did see Foz just do his very first Sector 1 race last weekend just gone and managed to come home with a podium result. Started in pole, so pole converted into a podium, still a massive feat. He did very well that race, so well done to him, but he's a regular up the front of our grids here at Street2Track. As you can see, that striking looking Brocky Sim Racing Boxer Beauty livery. Got just over 25 minutes till we kick off. Everyone's kind of getting a feel for everything, seeing what the cars are like. Hey Qantas, how you going, mate? Welcome in. This is the very first round of our series that we're running. We spoke to Giffo briefly. We got given a pretty good base to start with on what we wanted to do, and we've run with it. So this is what we have, the V8 swapped Ford Focus all-wheel drive. With that mistake there, Foz is pretty close to Ando's time. Might bring up some of the telemetry to have a look at, just to see who's doing what. I will say you want a kind of softer and forgiving tune with this. You don't want to chew out your tyres too quick. Refuel rate for fuel is also set at 2 litres per second, so you want to try and balance your power with your fuel economy. So it looks like Goju, Foz and Ando all very similar in their fuel, very similar in their tyre wear as well. And as you can see, they're using higher gears to get through some of those low speed corners. They're not revving the crap out of the car, they're slightly short shifting. Ando's into the 8s now. We will also be doing a little prize for the best livery of the season, best livery run on track of the season. So we know some people like to jump in and do multiple liveries and they look all well and good and everything, but I want to see the liveries that were actually on track. We'll do a best of vote in the Discord later on at the end of the season. I'm so excited to see all these photos. I'm hoping that there's some close racing going on. It does look like Ando and Foz are pretty similar in time. See Goju just peel off the side of the track there to let Ando through. You got Mr. Anderson too, black and green. Little white rabbit. I think that's a throw to the Matrix. Those colours and the white rabbit, follow the white rabbit, name Mr. Anderson. If not, I apologise. Yeah, we got him in the number 73, green and black white rabbit entry here. Does look like he's got quite a bit of ride height on the back of that car. Running some rake on it. Also I've noticed he's using the racing spoiler, not the rally style spoiler. So I'm pretty sure in the testing I did, both those spoilers did offer the same amount of downforce. But it's just a personal preference thing, so it's nice to see someone running that alternate spoiler to the one everyone else is using. Yeah, that's very high on the back of his car. Wonder if he knows something we don't. I do quite like this Catalunya national layout. It's very easy to get sucked into thinking that you're at the normal track and running very deep into that turn 1 wide open hairpin there. First lap out here for Mr. Anderson at the moment. Johnny Citizen, I believe this is. We're just gonna jump in party chat with the boys, have a bit of a G up, see what they're all thinking of it at the moment, and we'll jump back out just before the race starts to give them a bit of privacy, not have me rambling over the top of them.
weighs 3 tons. Hey, Friday, how are you?
Hey guys, how we going?
Good, man.
Not too bad.
Are we on stream?
I've
Yes.
Before I say anything about Giffo's mum or anything like that.
Oh, we're on stream, but you know, I think it's pretty public what we think of Giffo's mum.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, good.
No, how are we? How we
Good,
feeling?
man. You excited?
I'm excited. Some of these cars look amazing.
Is this your first hosted Street2Track event?
Yes. I mean,
Excellent.
I've stepped in to help out when other hosts haven't been around, but yes.
But it's your first your event.
Yes.
Yep, excellent. I reckon that's unreal.
I've spent the last 2 hours reviewing race 1 from last night.
Is it that bad,
Yeah.
was it?
Oh, it was so bad. I had
it's
without
not so
trying
much
to
that it
give
was
anything
so
away.
bad. It's just that there were some things that were difficult to rule on.
Yes.
The driving behaviour wasn't bad. It's just that actually attributing fault to some of the incidents was difficult.
I guess it doesn't help that it's kind of blind and closed circuit. There's not much runoff. There's just walls either side.
Absolutely, you're 1,000% right on that, man.
Yeah, it's been not easy.
The Boxer Beauty livery just seems to go on any car at the moment, doesn't it?
It does. I really like those colours together.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It's become a very modern theme. Like if you look in GT, they have all that red to blue flay. You look at the distinct colours, they're red to blue flay. You look at so many teams use that kind of those opposite ends, the blue to the red ends of the spectrum.
I
Certainly
forgot
was.
this is 710 pp. I had my car set up for 715.
I'll just take a bit of downforce out of it, she'll be right.
Yeah, mate, still I've tried that. It's fucking gotta be something else.
Well, it is a short track, so you could sacrifice a little bit of power.
That's probably actually the best livery I've seen Ando present in a Street2Track series with too.
Oh, the Road Sick.
Yeah.
They're actually Road Sick Racing are a team in other Gran Turismo leagues.
So are you suggesting he may have borrowed the livery?
Oh, I'm saying he's got links into a few teams around.
Yeah, okay.
So
They may have assisted in providing the livery or loaned it.
They may have
something like
assisted
that.
in providing the livery. He may be more of a member there than I thought he was. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
his actual team that he does is that Me Cougar team, and then
Yeah.
I've seen him race for Road Sick and like probably 2 other teams.
I'm used to seeing him in the Me Cougar stuff, but yeah, cool.
Are you any of you running the extra superchargers? No.
We mean extra superchargers. How many
Like-
superchargers are you going to run?
Yeah.
I'm running 4 of them.
Yes.
Yes.
With my
I-
testing, it was the low end supercharger that gave you the best torque.
I was
Yeah.
using the low end one as well,
And what's your torque at?
80.4.
Something like that, yeah.
80.4.
That's what mine's on, yep.
I've got 71.6.
Yeah, well, you'll
I
probably
might-
still be quicker than me. I wouldn't worry about it.
And what
Mine
weight?
is at
What weight are you running?
82.3.
1230.
1230. So I'm 1230, 519, 708.6.
Okay. Let's have a squiz here.
I had 1230 kilos, 548 horsepower, and 82.3 on the torque.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You mustn't be running much power restrictor. which means
I'm running ECU outputs at 100% and power restrictor at 76%.
yeah, I'm only at 72. But I assume you've got no aero whatsoever then.
Well, no, this was just like I've got 62 on the front and full aero on the back. So this was just a throw together tune, so I could just test all the kind of tracks out and the weather on the other tracks and that.
That's interesting. So that's giving me less PP, more torque, and better acceleration. We'll go with that. That sounds like a good deal. So let me go there.
Yeah, Matty Smacker says on stream he's got 82.3 with the low end supercharger as well. He actually did put his tune in the tuning channel last week, so you might have to scroll up for it a bit if you want to have a look.
So after hearing some of the things you've said, I now have 82.3 as well. So. I'm just yeah. They feel deceptively heavy, but don't they?
Yeah, it's you have to brake the tiny bit earlier than what you think you have to brake. And then it's like once you point it out of the corner, you can smash the throttle and go full ball. But if you try and full throttle out of a corner without a straight line to the exit, it kind of drags you off the track.
What torque split are you running, just out of curiosity?
We'll go back to 3565.
Yep, same.
You running your weight all the way to the back?
Yep.
My
ballast
positioning's at 11.
Yeah, that's funny. That's exactly where mine is.
So's mine.
Oh no, sorry. My ballast is 11. Yeah, my positioning is 42.
Yeah, no, both my ballast and the positioning at 11.
So you can get a bit more front aero.
How you going, Green Street? Yeah, I just found that the more you throw it up the front, the lower the PP becomes. So that's how I've done it to get as close to the numbers as possible.
So we're going with that. We don't have a carb prop shaft.
Where are you shifting at, Friday?
I don't know. I haven't really driven the car this week that much.
Oh, dude.
I was shifting short.
Yeah.
So about 6,500, just over that.
Yep.
I think when you go to the cockpit cam of the car, it's like basically shifting at the red line of what it is in the car. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, so I had a few penalties to hand out. Someone got disqualified.
Really?
Yeah. I copped a penalty.
Well, it deserves
Someone else copped a penalty. Someone else copped a penalty.
I'm not going to say any names, and you shouldn't either.
And another person copped a penalty. So we had quite a few.
That's probably the most penalties in one race, by what I'm hearing.
It is. By a long shot.
What was interesting was that race 2, really, there wasn't much in it at all.
I had one penalty in race 2, which was definitely. Obviously a turn 1 incident in the final there.
What happened with that chicane one you threw up into the chat last night?
Which chicane one? There's fucking 50 million of the cunts.
It looks like the car. I don't want to say names. It looked like the car turned to the left under brakes while the input still kind of showed it was straight.
Yeah. So it's a strange. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but that person had a few other incidents. So I'll just once this is not done tonight, I'll update the points and I'll get all that info up for everyone. Fuck, I need this car to turn more, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need. Mine feels very heavy and sluggish.
Well,
Like it
you've got,
doesn't feel like 1,200 kilos.
You got Fozzie and Ando are both in the 108s.
Yeah, but they're freaks. So that doesn't matter. Like, when I actually see them in front of me, I don't even consider that there's a person above me.
I think the fastest I got here was a high 109. Banana says get some sprunk in your trunk.
Yeah, boy.
How are you, Banana? Welcome in. Oh, we've got about 10 minutes now before quali kicks off.
I think the best way to probably do it, Goju, is to try and move the Torx vectoring to the rear.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. I've been shifted. It's actually quite interesting how much the car changes behaviour based on small changes of that.
Well, it makes it feel more like a rear-wheel drive, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually very interested to see how you guys tackle the wet rounds in these things.
Hey, you just want to laugh. You're not interested.
No, I'm very
to be entertained by it.
It's the same thing, interested and entertained. It requires my attention. Ando, how you going, mate? Ando's popped in on stream and said no more than 35.65 for the talk.
Yeah, that's...
When he says more, what's he mean by more?
No more.
I think no more to the rear. I think he's saying don't go any more than 35.65, so don't go 30.70.
Thank you.
I was running, well, just then 2080, but I've just increased
automatic
the rear anti-roll by 1.
He says more than 65 on the rear will light up. It'll light up the tyres. I think it's a pretty decent turnout tonight for an initial...
Oh, for a first round, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for an initial series, race 1. Yep. I might join in and have a couple of laps before we kick off.
I've missed the braking marker by a mile.
Yeah, and they're not real forgiving on that.
Do you know what fucks me up on this track? Is the brake markers are actually the brake markers for the longer track. So it says like 300, 400.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're miles away from it, you're like, oh shit. That 300 metres went real quickly.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, if you zone out a little bit and you come through that chicane at the rear, you quite easily forget that there's a corner halfway down the straight.
It's interesting that Ando says, and look, I know he's a lot quicker than me. It's interesting that he says, like, no more than 65, and I've gone to 30.70 and found a second and a half off my best time. First lap I was. So, I mean, it does show the difference in, and I mean, faster than me again, but it does show the difference in driving styles versus how the car's set up, doesn't it?
My TCR torque split, I think, is at 3070 for the Subaru, and I did pick up a Foz tune that had it at 6040, and I tried running 6040, and it's just not for me. You know, everyone's slightly different, so
yeah, definitely.
Graves asking if there's a party chat. If you're on stream, yes there is, and you haven't been invited yet.
There's only 3 people in it. If you want to add people, feel free.
Is it private or?
That is private.
Ah, okay.
It might be. They might not be able to see it.
Alright, well I'll finish this lap.
You could probably add them into the message, because I've labelled this one S2T Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it'll be in the group messages. Then they'll be able to get access to the party through there.
Answers on that curve.
Another thing that'll be interesting is this update that'll happen while some of us are starting seasons and some of us are mid-season.
Yep.
Chances there'll be a race 2 today? I don't think so, Banana. Lobby is not full. There may be in the future. Yes, Digger, I'm working on it now. So... who have we got here? Alright, so we've got Ando. Gravedigger. Manny Smacker. Is Old Man Shart's Rain Rider? Do we know?
Is he? I'm not sure who Old Man Sharts is.
Okay.
Oh, Goju.
Yeah.
So right, I'll tell you the jokes, right?
Yeah, righto.
Alright,
is it
so
racist or sexist or?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, righto. Not really.
So
your stream Friday.
No, there's a waiter, a lawyer, a school teacher, and a priest on the Titanic, right?
Waiter, lawyer, school teacher, priest.
Yeah, and the Titanic hits the iceberg and the ship starts sinking, and the waiter, he runs over, he goes, "Come on guys, we've got to get off this boat, it's sinking." The school teacher says, "Well, what am I going to do with all the kids?" The lawyer says, "Fuck the kids." And the priest says, "You reckon we'll have time?"
Yeah, excellent.
And that's all it is.
I know I'm missing people from the party. I've just added a few in now.
Fuck, man. There is no way. Fucking 108, man.
Yeah, it's fast.
I reckon.
Qantas on stream just said the Titanic sank over 100 years ago and the pool still has water in it.
I know, right?
Oh,
Crazy.
Evening, gentlemen.
how are you,
Evening,
Digger?
Grave.
Not too bad, guys. Hey, did I tell you I figured out what my problem was, Gojo?
No, what was it?
It was the cord from the socket on the wall to the modem.
Yeah, wow.
As soon as I changed that, everything come back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you got to get a handle on it.
I'm pretty happy with that. I've done it when I know.
Who am I missing anyone? I'm not sure. If I've missed anyone, feel free to ask and someone else will add you in chat instead of me. But that's 7:30, lads, so I'll give you a couple more minutes and then we'll kick off quali.
Hey, you going, Chibi? Oh, the Super will have been good practice for that. In WTCC.
Alright, well, I'll leave you boys to it. Good luck, have fun. You've got about 2 minutes now before I'll start qualifying. It'll be 10-minute qualifier, and then we'll have a break for a few minutes and then head into the race.
Wait.
Alright, have fun.
Thanks, Friday.
Thanks, Friday.
Alright, so we've got some of the boys doing their best Ken Block impersonations. Having some fun there. Going to start qualifying off in just under 2 minutes time, giving them a few extra minutes while we sorted out a party chat, and just a few people have jumped in last minute, so give them a lap or two to get used to the car at least. We've got 13 people racing, looks like. So 13 people entered, 13 people racing. So it's going to be a ball. New wheels coming Saturday, T300's just fucked. Had to half my torque, otherwise the belt would slip the entire time on Monday. Jesus, banana. That sucks. That was like, before I got this wheel here, I've got a TGT2. I had a G29 before this one, and I had so much pedal flicker that my minimum brake pressure was 30%, maximum was 80% on the settings, and the same with the throttle. My throttle was like 15% minimum and a maximum of about 90%, and my clutch pedal was permanently stuck on like 100%. It would flicker between 98 and 100%, but yeah, so it was bullshit trying to race. No matter how much I cleaned it out. We just had Nackety leave the room, so might give him a minute to come back then. But alright, we're essentially ready to start here, just seeing if Nackety's coming back. And then we will kick it off. It'll be a 10-minute qualifier, followed by a 40-minute race. Give them a few minutes in the middle. Yeah, that's why I had to back out. New rig's a bit too much for this ancient artifact. Yeah, well, my problem at the moment is I'm in a garage, and my garage floor's concrete, so I've got a little desk that I race at with a little fold-up chair, and I've had to get a piece of MDF and drill the pedals into the MDF to stop them from sliding away from me. But now my seat, because it's just a cheap fold-up party chair, every time I push the brake pressure all the way down, it slides me back an inch or two. No idea if Nackety is coming back. Kifo says unsure. No, that's alright, Nackety. If you come back, I'll just pop you at the back of the grid. But all good, I've got 4 kids myself, so totally get it. Alright, here we go. We are going to kick qualifying off. We've got 12 runners at the moment. Good luck, everyone. The initial race, the first race of the first season of this Street2Track MARC cars. It'll be Wednesday nights where we throw engines from cars that don't belong in one car into another. Alright. And out they come. The MARC cars come out of the pits one by one. Alright, here we go. It begins. Everyone is jumping out of the pits now on track, going to find themselves some space. Now there's no rules about slipstreaming or any of that crap, you know, just don't ruin anyone's qualifying, don't impede, don't try and race, find your own space and do it. I'm not going to tell you not to slipstream. If you're with someone and you're confident in doing it, you run the risk. That is totally up to you. But as we see Foz, Ando and Nif leading the way here, out for qualifying, a few cars behind them. You've got Benno right behind this group. He's already picked up a half-second pen. The pen line is on the straight here, so it's kind of a shitty pen line, especially for qualifying. But it is what it is. So we've got the Rocket Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle entry here from Niffy. That's a good looking car. As I said earlier, we will have a small prize for the best looking car on track in the season. And there's already, I can already see potential winners here. You've got Niffy, that looks amazing. The Pizza Hut Rocket Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle entry. The Boxer Beauty of Foz is always a stunning livery. You've got the Alienware of Maddie Smacker as well. That one is another awesome looking livery. So I'm really happy with how much time people have put into their cars and their liveries to show up tonight and yeah, make it look the best that it can possibly be. Thank you, really appreciate it. So now everyone's on their first flying lap now. So you've got Fozzie, Ando and Nif leading the way. They're going to be the first 3 to set a time. We've seen Benno pick up that half-second penalty on his out lap, so that's going to slightly affect his lap. His first flying lap at least. It is a 10-minute qualifier, so you will see them get about 8 laps or so in, depending on whether they pit for tyres or not. They shouldn't need to. Zabrocky straight into the 8s, Ando with a 9.2, Niffy with a 9.4, so these 3 close together. And Giffy does a 10.3, Benno's just under the 10s, he's in the 9s, Gravy's a 10.4. Mr. Anderson does an 11. You got Old Man Sharts and Matty Smacker here. So Sharts does a 13.5, Smacker does a 10.699, 10.3 from Chippy there. So So very close. This mid-pack is going to be very close. Benno's picked up another half-second penalty and he's up on his time too, so that's going to be a bit heartbreaking for him. Still plenty of time left in the session though. Giffo in the Crim Safe entry, one of the only couple of cars running that racing style spoiler, not the rally style spoiler. So remember, if it's not Crim Safe, it's not Crim Safe, and Giffo's showing you that on the track now. Nobody can get into that car of his, because that car is Crim Safe. And Gravy in a Street2Track blue and white entry. We've seen this the other night in testing. He just runs really deep into the first corner there. Very easy to do. Stunning colours there. Good representation of Street2Track as well. Goju does an 11.1. This is the livery we were talking about earlier, the alien wear from Matty Smacker. Greeny's in the Coles Express livery. So red and white, and as you can see on the rear bumper, down, the prices are down. Mr. Anderson here, he's done an 11 flat. He's just got a 1 second penalty, so he's not going to improve this lap or the next lap. Got a couple of people pitting now, so you've got Ando going into the pits with 91 litres on board. Greeny looks like he's exited out and gone back in. So we've got the green and black sprunk car of Goju, and he's just picked up a half-second penalty there as well, and then Old Man Sharp's just behind him. He's done a 13.5. So he hasn't had a very good qualifier as of yet. I'm pretty sure though after this first race everyone will kind of figure out where each other are at, and there might be a few conversations up and down the pit lane about tuning. Especially because next week I believe is going to be one of the more difficult races for him. Yes, next week we have Tokyo East counterclockwise in the wet. So that is potentially one of the harder races of the season. So they get thrown this little sprint track for race 1, and then race 2 they're going to have to come up with something a bit different on their tuning. And then they're also going to have to compete with weather. It's going to be wet. It's going to start off mildly moist. Depending on the weather pattern, it's going to be right on the cusp of whether you use inters for the first couple of laps or whether you risk it on the softs and just be a bit cautious. And then you're going to have a mid-race downpour. It is going to come down, the whole track is going to be wet, there's going to be water everywhere, and then it should dry out towards the end. As Goju gets into the 10s now, he's done a 10.9. So we'll just go through the field now. So we're just over halfway through the qualifying session. We've got Fozzie with a 108.635. Ando is 3/10 behind him there. He's done a 108.965. This is his first flying lap since he has pitted as well. And then Niffy's 2.5 tenths back there, and then Benno less than a tenth behind. 109.295 for Benno. Matty Smacker 8 tenths behind them. He's done a 1 minute 10.184. 1 minute 10s were the times we were doing when we were testing, so that's kind of the benchmark I was expecting a lot of people to be around. Chibi's got a 1 minute 10.3. Giffo is only 2 1/1000ths of a second behind Chibi there. Gravy is 1/10 behind him. Greeny's half a tenth behind Gravy. Goju is 1/100th behind Greeny in time as well. He's just pulled over there, let a couple of people pass. He might want a bit of a slipstream. And Mr. Anderson less than a tenth back from Goju, so it's very tight in this mid and back pack here. And then Old Man Shart still struggling to get some good qualifying times in. just betters his time, but only just. He's still done a 13.5. So Fozzie is our leader at the moment. Ando's pit for the tyres, but he's yet to improve as he just goes 1.5 tenths up on his time. Niffy's gone to the pits, so don't know if we'll see him come back out yet. Chibi's gone in for a fresh set of tyres as well. So what'll be interesting is this is all qualifying pace, but race pace will be slightly different. Who goes balls to the wall and chews up their tyres and their fuel to try and get ahead, and who tries to toe that line of maintaining their tyre wear and looking after their fuel depletion. Refuel rate is at 2 litres per second at the moment, so it's a bit harsh. But as the series goes on, we may look to adjust that depending on if it goes down the way I think it's going to go down, or if it's something different. So Ando almost improves. He was 1/1000th off his best time last lap. And this national circuit goes purple. This national circuit's a bit different. There are 2 sectors. So you get a timing split just there, and then your next timing split is actually the finish line. So there's only 2 sectors. We've seen him go purple in sector 1. He's on for a good time. We'll ride this to the line, see where he stacks up, and then we'll just check through the rest of the field, because we are only 10 seconds away from qualifying being done and dusted. So Fozzie will get a lap. Ando will get another lap. Ando betters his time and does a 1:08.841. Alright, so let's have a look. So we got Benno with a 1:09.28. Niffy does not improve. We got Matty Smacker on his final lap. He's still done a 1:10.184. So it looks like these top 4 are going to be pretty close, and then there's a bit of a gap in time back to Matty Smacker here, but then from Matty Smacker back down the field, it's very close and very tight. Just on board with Gravy now as he comes through the final sector. He goes well deep and absolutely sends it. He's got the pen. 2-second pen. Matty Smacker's got a pen as well. Can Fozzie beat his time? Fozzie goes purple, 1:08.602. Ando does not improve on that last lap, so it looks like we'll have Foz is your pole position. Hey Brocky, how you going? Yeah, nice one there by Foz. Just let the boys know they've got 5 minutes. It's going to be a 40-minute race. They'll want to utilise that. Do their own pit stops. So we have Fozzie with a 1:08.6 as our fastest lap. 2.5 tenths ahead of Ando with a 1:08.841. Then Niffy was third in that session with a 1:09.203. And Benno in fourth with a 1:09.280. And then almost a second back from that, we had Matty Smacker in fifth with a 1:10.184. Then Chibi in sixth with a 1:10.268. Giffo with a 1:10.351. Gravy in eighth with a 1:10.451. So these guys are pretty close in this mid-pack here. And then Greeny with a 1:10.952. Goju with a 1:10.962. So Goju was only 1/100th off getting an extra spot there on the start. Then we got Mr. Anderson with a 1:11.40. So he was only a 10th behind too. And then another couple of seconds down the road, we had Old Man Sharts there in 12th in the final position. It will be a grid start with false start check. So All these cars are just going to bolt off the line there. They're all being all-wheel drives with the V8 engine swap. Got 550 horsepower, 1,230 kilos. The aero options are open. Giffo says he's going to the shop and get some milk and be back. Just wanted to give them a few moments there just to make sure that they're all ready. They've had adequate time. They're not going to have any time to have a break during the race. So yeah, very interesting. It's good to see Fozzie up the front, as we're used to seeing him up the front in Street2Track events with Brocky, who's joined us in chat. Also seen Foz in his Sector 1 debut start on pole and come home with a podium result in Division 1, which was really good. Got Ando. He's well known throughout Gran Turismo. If you've raced in Australian League racing, you've seen Ando around. He is the master of a no-stop strategy, a good tune and a good race ethic. Great at saving his fuel and tyres while keeping on pace. There's times where I've raced against him and he's managed to save a whole bunch of fuel on me while keeping pace with me, and I just scratch my head and don't know how he does it. And Niffy there in third. Niffy also had his Sector 1 debut last weekend. Struggled with his tyre wear, but still he was in Division 1 and put up a really good result. Benno, we see Benno up in the daily race timings and the time trials. He often really wants to get that top Aussie position in the timings. And then Matty Smacker, we've only seen him at Street2Track for a little while. I've known him a bit longer than that. He is our companion at Juiced Motorsport at the moment in the Motor Motion events. So him being up there in fifth, in the kind of the best of the rest position, because those four guys ahead of him are pretty quick. It's really good to see, and that livery is absolutely amazing. Then you've got your S2T patch members of Chibi, Giffo, Gravy, and Goju all close together with Greenie in there for good measure. So it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be interesting to see who pits and who goes for a no-stop. I don't think race pace is going to be in the 1 minute and 8s. It's going to be more the 1 minute 9s, 1 minute 10s. Should make for some great racing. Grab a drink, microwave some popcorn, grab a snack, whatever you need to do. Sit back, put your feet up. It's going to be a interesting race one. It's quite a good turnout as well. I'm quite happy with 12 races on a first race of a new series. So Giffo's back from the shops now. Good work, mate. It's the quickest I've gone to get milk that I've seen. Alright, it's now 7:55 Australian Eastern Time. We are going to kick this race off. Good luck, have fun. It's going to be an awesome looking race, little short track. It's going to be interesting when blue flags come into play here. Just going to go to our keyboard. Alright, here we go. The lights are counting down now. have light damage. See someone stuff up the start there. Looks like that was Matty Smacker. Just got a false start and sent back a few positions. Everyone's trying to find their space. Foz leads the way into the first corner, Ando second. Benno's trying around the outside here on Ando. So Ando keeps the position. We'll go back a little bit. We've got Niffy fighting over fourth with Chibi. Chibi's now up to fourth. We go back a bit. Giffo is leading Gravy. Your Gravy goes very wide, almost runs into the side of Giffo there. Goju's just sitting behind him, so Goju's from 10th up to 8th now. Mr. Anderson in 9th. Old Man Charts in 10th. Matty Smacker's just going down the inside at the moment. Greeny's all the way at the back. Oh, Old Man Charts goes off. Looks like he just picked up a little bit of curb there, not much in it. Oh, who was that? Gravy. Gravy's drifting the car around the track. He's using all of his tyres. Jumps back in. It looks like he hasn't picked up a penalty or anything, so we'll go back to the front. So there's a little battle here. So Ando succumbs to Benno. Ando may have picked up a penalty there. So Foz is leading the way from Benno, then Ando, then Chibi here in 4th has got Niffy over the back of him. There's a bit of space now back to Goju, who is in 6th, who's got Giffo behind him, and then there's another little battle pack behind them. So you've got Mr. Anderson, Gravy and Matt Smacker all up in a line. So we'll just have a look at what happened at the start here. So Matty Smacker false started and he went all the way back to 9th. And then he's run very wide as well. So was Greeny behind him. They've both run wide and they've managed to drop all the way back to the last couple of spots there. So that's what happened to those guys at the start. See Matty Smacker's up to 8th. Giffo's now dropped back to 10th. Looks like he's struggling a little bit. Gravy's coming down the inside now. Gravy gets the move done. Oh, Giffo goes a bit wide there, takes out one of the barriers. No damage on the car though. Fozzie's stretched his legs now to over a second. He's now leading over a second. Benno's in second with Ando behind him, but Benno does have a half-second penalty. So he will be serving that on the straight right by the start-finish line. Chibi's up to 5th and found himself some space. Looks like Goju's found himself some space in 6th spot as well. So we'll just go back up with Benno. He's about to serve this penalty with Ando. Benno just pulls off the racing line there for a second. Ando's gone behind him. He wants all of that slipstream from him. He's going to dive down the inside here. Oh, Benno just picks up a little bit of grass. He's picked up a little bit of grass and it's just caused him to lose that position. Luckily, he kept it straight. Right, so as you can see, your top 4 are kind of running away with it at the moment. So you got Foz, Ando, Benno and Niff in your top 4. Then there's a bit of a gap back. And then you'll find Goju is now up to 5th as well. So Chibi's dropped a position. So you got the top 4 have split away, and then you've got this battle evolving here. Unfortunately, it looks like Old Man Sharts is off at the back. Well out of touch at the moment. Goju's kind of leading this mid-pack battle. He's got a little bit of space behind him. Chibi's not that far off, and Chibi's got a pen. And Mr. Anderson there. It's Matty Smacker's on the back of Mr. Anderson too, so Chibi will succumb to this pen. Serves his half-second pen there. Loses 2 positions. Matty Smacker's going to go for a 2-for-1 deal. Gets a position, but he goes really deep into the braking zone. Really deep into the braking zone. So you see he just comes down the inside and he just totally misses his braking marker. Hits the handbrake, spins the car around, jumps in behind Gravy. So loses a few positions there, but doesn't pick up any damage. Goju's. All this stuff that's happening behind him, it's just giving him this breathing space that he needs to keep his head down and bum up. We are 5 minutes into the race. Just over 5 minutes into the race, so this is now where we'll start seeing the differences in people's tunes. So we've got a yellow flag ahead. What's happened there? What's happened to Benno? So we had Benno in third. Looks like he's just run a bit wide and it's unsettled the car. Oh, and he's smacked into the barrier as well. So no, Benno succumbs to the mistake there and just costs him a position. He's now got Goju a second behind him. Damage is on light, so that damage is now cleared, but it's allowed Goju to catch up to a second away from fourth. So Benno looks like he's really pushing that car. Goju's got a half-second penalty as well. So this track's not being nice to everyone. It's dishing out penalties left, right and centre. See Anderson, Chibi and Gravedigger all pretty close to each other, having a nice little battle here. Oh, as Chibi goes a bit wide. Car slides around a bit, but he manages to keep it. He will have some dirty tyres, and he does pick up a half-second penalty from that too. So Gravy's going to get gifted a position here. It's a very hard track to get exactly right all the time, especially in these cars. You see Chibi just serves his pen there. Gravy goes around him. So we'll just go through the field now. We're 7 minutes into the race. Let's just have a look at everyone's fuel and tyre situation. So you got Fozzie there. It looks like they may have to stop for a set of tyres, but he probably won't have to stop for fuel at all. He's still got more than 3/4 of a tank in fuel with the 7-minute mark. He's definitely going to be coming home on that 1 tank of fuel. He's not going to need any refuel. Ando behind has much better tyre wear, much better tyre wear, considering it's this early in the race. Same amount of fuel though, so we see Ando attempt a nose stop. We've got Niffy, he's used a bit more of his tyres on the left hand side, same amount of fuel essentially. We do know he does chew through his tyres a bit more than most, being on controller. Benno behind, he's used much more of his tyre again. Same on the fuel though. Goju's not doing too bad on his tyres and his fuel. It looks like he's going to be able to pull off the no refueling. He may have to pit for a tyre, or he may be running around on a dead tyre at the end. As we see a yellow flag ahead. Not sure who that was or what happened. Anyways, we go back to Mr. Anderson, who has got slightly worse tyre than the guys ahead, but pretty similar on the fuel. Chibi, same as Mr. Anderson essentially. Matty Smacker has used a little bit more tyre, but he's got the same on the fuel. So he might be one of the ones that we see coming for a pit stop as well. Gravy, the same as Matty Smacker there on his fuel and tyre. Giffo, the same on the fuel and tyre as well. Greenie, he's done a lot better on his tyres. His fuel's the same, so Greenie could be on a potential no stop here. Old Man Sharks as well, not doing too bad on his fuel and tyres. He could be another potential no stopper. So going through the field and looking at it, we're probably going to see Giffo pit at some point, Gravy pit at some point, Matty Smacker pit at some point, Chibi will pit at some point, Mr. Anderson will pit at some point, Benno will pit at some point, Niffy will more than likely pit at some point. So it looks like it's going to be almost a 50-50 split on cars that are pitting and cars that won't need to pit. As we see Fozzie is still a second ahead of Ando, so Ando hasn't let him out of his sights yet. I'm thinking Foz may need to come in for tyres as well. He's used almost a third of his tyre and we're only a quarter of the way through the race. So unless that tyre wear gets a little bit better for him and he starts looking after that tyre a bit more as the fuel goes down, he could be in for a potential stop. But looking at it, I don't think anyone's going to need to stop for fuel this race at least. Next race will be a bit different. We'll probably see 2 pit stops from everyone, but that'll be just based on tyres alone. Fozzie leads the way into lap 10, followed by Ando, then followed by Niff. Niffy with a half-second penalty. He's got Benno 2 seconds behind, so he's not going to lose a spot to him. Benno in 4th, and then 4 seconds step back down the road. Goju, who's managed to climb his way up to 5th in the opening few laps of this race, and he's stuck there as people are battling ahead of him and behind him. He's just been left in this little no man's land, which is good. It means he's got no pressure behind him. He can just focus on hitting his brake markers, hitting his fuel numbers, doing his race his way, bringing the car home in one piece. We've got Chibi in 6th, and he's got Mr. Anderson over the back of him, less than half a second behind. These guys have been pretty much together most of the race, and then we'll head back to Gravy, who's got Giffo and Matt Smacker behind him. So Gravy in 8th, Smacker in 9th, Giffo in 10th. Check the guys at the back. So you've got Greeny, who's a little bit off this battle pack here. He does look like he's not going to be stopping though, where the cars ahead of him are definitely going to have to stop. Look at that. 28 minutes left of the race. They've used half of their front left-hand tyre. So Greeny's going to jump a few of these guys in the pit cycle, and Old Man Sharts may possibly as well. He's 14 seconds off the back of Greeny, so 20 seconds off the back of Giffo he would be. Not sure how long the pit transit is. We see Matt Smacker pick up a half-second penalty. You serve that next lap. Interesting. I knew it'd be 50-50 on people stopping for tyres. We do know a few ways you can alter your tune to work it for the tyres a bit better. That could also be the torque split. These cars are four-wheel drive. They are open to run whatever torque split they want. They can run a 90-10 torque split, 10% to the front, 90% to the rear. They can run 50-50 torque split if they want. They're open to run the cars however they want, as long as they abide by the horsepower, the weight, and the PP limit. It's really up to them how they set up the cars. But we do really love the Alienware livery from Matty Smacker as he's about to serve this penalty here. That should gift the position to Giffo. We'll see Giffo overtake Matty Smacker as he just picks up another half-second penalty. So it's going to be a 1 second penalty now. These cars do have a bit of balls. It's not the end of the world getting a penalty here, but you obviously want to avoid it. So we've just seen Matty Smacker go from 9th to 10th due to that penalty. We'll jump back up the front and see what's going on. Ando is at 1 second behind Foz still. That's coming down slightly. I mean, it's coming down and then going up and coming down and going up. We've got Niffy 16 seconds behind this battle here. So these two are going to start throwing haymakers at each other soon, I reckon. We do have Foz almost halfway through his front left-hand tyre, so unless he's planning to run on nothing, he will be coming into the pits to change that tyre. Ando could potentially do the no-stop here. He may have to run on a dead tyre for a lap or two. But running on a dead tyre for a lap or two is definitely going to be faster than running on, than doing a stop if you don't need to do the stop. Go back here, we got Benno on the back of Niff at the moment. So these are two guys that are going to be pitting for tyres at some point as well. Niff in the Pizza Hut Rocket Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle green ooze livery. It's a really nice looking car. We are going to be doing a best livery of the season vote at the end of the season. The requirements will be the car would have to be driven on track, so not just made a livery and take photos of it. I'll have to actually compete in a race, 1 entry per person, and as we see Nif go off. So not sure what's happened there, whether he's just missed his marker or he's actually been bumped off. So we see Nif here, it just looks like, yeah, he's just missed his marker, he's just gone a bit too straight there. Unable to keep it on track there. Niffy's doing a bit of side-to-side action down the straight there. We call that Niff things. He loves doing his Niff things. So Benno's now been gifted 3rd position from that mistake by Niff. Goju is still sitting in 5th. Goju's gotten up to 5th quite comfortably and he's stayed there. So as Banana said earlier, get some sprunk in your trunk. Goju's got the sprunk. It's in his trunk. No one can touch him from that mid-pack battle. Mr. Anderson's behind Chibi here, so these guys have been nice and close all race. Giffo's just picked up a half-second penalty and Matty Smacker's on the back of him. And he's got a half-second penalty too. So we've got Alienware and Crimsafe racing around. Giffo's one of the only couple of people to use that racing style spoiler and not the rally style. So it's good to see that. Low-key hoping he's driving a Banana certified setup we're representing out here. Goju is doing very well. I will say, if you look at, we are 23 minutes in and Goju's now used half of his front left-hand tyre. So we might have to pull back a little bit on that, on wearing that tyre out. But compared to at least half the grid, he's doing a lot better. So his tune is pretty much on point for tyre wear. So we'll go through the field again and see everyone's fuel and tyre numbers. So people are sitting at about 1/3 of a tank. So Foz looks like he will definitely need to pit. There's no way he's going to make that tyre last 23 minutes. Ando's looking like he's potentially going for the no-stop strategy. A bit over 1/3 of the tank of fuel, but he's definitely got more than enough fuel to get home. These cars do tend to fuel save a little bit. They do prefer a little bit of a short shift. Yes, Banana, I'm out of party. I'll just let them talk amongst themselves in their race and not listen to me carry on about stuff. So we will jump back into a party with them at the end of the race anyway. You're going to ask Goju out on a date? Sure, he'll like that. Sure, he'll love that. Date with his Banana. So we go back to Benno. Benno has almost cooked that front left-hand tyre there. It's 1/3 of a tank of fuel, so he's definitely got the fuel to get home. He just needs to come in and change those tyres. When he does that will be the question. You could do that now and get home on the tyre set, especially having a lighter fuel load. We have learnt from previous experience that you do tend to get an extra lap or so out of a tyre after you've pitted. So if you start on a soft tyre and it only lasts 12 laps, if you pit, go back to full fuel, you generally get 13 laps out of that tyre next. Mate, you can't not race in your own series. I feel bad for missing out on the action. Mate, we see Benno coming in the pits now, so he's going to pit and change his tyres. We'll just stick with him. I mean, and we've got Niffy coming in too. I mean, I would like to race it. I did say if there were less than 10, I was going to race. If there were more than 10, I was going to do comms. I'm quite happy to sit here and do comms. These cars look amazing. Everyone's been pretty respectful on track and stuff. You know, if I can bring you some good action, I'll bring you good action. Much rather that than a little camera in the top right hand corner of my bearded bald self trying to wrestle the steering wheel around. So we see Mr. Anderson in the pits as well. So that's Benno in, no fuel, takes tyres. Niffy's the same. Giffo's in as well. Mr. Anderson. So they're all, I reckon they're all going to just take tyres and no fuel. How are you, by the way, Scozzy? Thanks for dropping in. So we see Giffo just come in now. Car goes up, tyres go on, No fuel. Out he goes. Fozzie's now in the pits. So Fozzie is now giving up that position to Ando. Ando's looking like he's going to go strong on that nose stop. He's got half of his front left-hand tyre worn. And we are halfway through the race. So we may have to go a lap or so at the end on a dead tyre, but that's probably the optimal strategy we'll see. Foz is going to come out. Where does he come out in relation to Goju? Goju's going past him now. Here's Goju. So Fozzie might beat him into turn 1 here, but Goju's come all the way up to 3rd now. Look at that. We've got the Brocky 05 sim racing car of Foz coming out in front with a fresh set. And Goju behind. Goju's got less than half on his front left. But that should be okay considering there are a lot of cars behind him. Bummed you couldn't make it tonight. Commentary is amazing. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, it's feel free to pop in for one race in the season if you can. Feel free to pop in for the rest of them. So rock up and race format. If we get more than a full lobby, we'll do 2 races. If we get more than a full lobby. So Goju, big winner at the moment. He's up to 3rd. Ando's in the pits now too. I was not expecting to see Ando come into the pits. I thought by his tyre wear there he was going to stay out. So very interesting. Very, very interesting there. So Ando pops back to 2nd. Matty Smacker's in the pits now. So Gravy and Benno go past. Greenie goes past too. Niffy's gone past. So we'll see the car in a second pop into pit lane here. Get jacked up on the ramps. They'll throw on new tyres and off he'll go. Everyone seems to have done very well with their fuel. We are only at a refuel rate of 2 litres a second as well, so it's really not worth chewing up all your fuel. It's worth trying to save it a little bit. Alright, so we've got 17 and a half minutes left of the race. We'll just go through the grid with you at the moment. So we got Fozzie, half a tank of fuel, fresh set of softs, 1.5 seconds ahead of Ando, the same spot, probably almost 2/3 of a tank of fuel, fresh set of softs. Goju's now pitting. I thought he could potentially pull off the nose stop before, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's decided to pit for tyres. Benno is in 4th. He might come ahead of Goju now. Bit of a pit transit. Benno's got fresh set of tyres as well and half a tank of fuel as we see Gravy duck into the pits as well. So Goju still hasn't arrived at his box yet. Off he goes. So Goju was in 5th most of that first half of the race. He's now come out in 6th, and that's only because I suspect Greenie has not pitted. So will we see Greenie with a no stop? Greenie sitting in 4th, Niff behind him with a fresh set of tyres. There's no point talking about the fuel. They've all got enough fuel to get home. So Niffy's got a fresh set. Goju's got a spanking fresh set now. Chibi's got a fresh set, Anderson's got a fresh set, Smacker, Giffo, Gravy, Old Man Sharts has not pitted. So Old Man Sharts and Greenie are the 2 that have not pitted yet. We'll just jump on board with Niff while I take a second to have a drink. Just saw Niff get the best of Greenie there as we went on board with him. So we'll just stay on board for a lap so you see what they're doing. As you can see, turn 1, nice and soft on that steering wheel. If you start getting too aggressive on the power and too aggressive on the steering, it's going to start throwing you around a bit. Nice smooth inputs here. As we said earlier on, there's only 2 timing sectors. So we had him come down the start straight, and just at the end of this little straight here is where the first timing split is. And the next one will be the finish line, so only 2 sectors in this race. Oh, we hear Nif doing a bit of Nif things there. So Nif gets a half-second penalty. It's bad I can't go and take that half-second penalty away off him for style points though. As we see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sliding around the track. He's now picked up a 1-second penalty for his efforts. Oh, what's going on, Niffy? Niffy's decided that if he provides a smoke screen to the cars behind him, yeah, they're not going to be able to see where the track is. Did you see Goju? This is what Goju sees. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Pizza Hut car. So I did think there were potential for some people to do a nose stop. What's Niffy doing? Niffy's doing a Joker lap, is he? Alright. So Chippy now gets Niffy. Alright. Niffy probably asked the pit crew if they needed those tyres anymore and they said no. So Fozzie's 2 seconds ahead of Ando here. And then you got Benno 23 seconds off the lead. So Foz and Nando have broken away and been in touch with each other the entire race. Benno is in a comfortable third here. Then you've got Greenie in fourth. Goju has got Chibi not that far behind him now. They're both on freshish tyres. They've both got half a tank of fuel. So that Sprunk has got him back up to fifth. We've got Matty Smacker sitting in 7th. He's been up and down the field. A few penalties that we've seen. He's probably got the least amount of fuel of the cars that we've seen so far, but he's got more than enough to get home. And we've got Mr. Anderson in 8th place with Giffo not that far behind. Giffo's trying to catch up to the back of Mr. Anderson here. Actually, Giffo's got the worst fuel out of everyone, but it's enough to get home. So he's just caught up a few tenths to the back of Mr. Anderson now. Going to get a bit of a slipstream here down the straight. Will he be close enough to go for a dive? Probably not. I will say from driving these cars and doing the testing for the series, it's a bit awkward. It's you got to brake that split second before you think you should brake. You got to be very nice on the steering inputs and very have the car pointed straight at the exit before you smash that throttle. As we see Giffo make a move on Mr. Anderson there. So he gets through and he takes 8th spot. He's got Matty Smacker 4 seconds up the road now. And remember, if it's not crim safe, it's not crim safe. And we've got Gravy here in 10th spot. He's just been lapped by Fozzie and Ando. So Fozzie and Ando, as always, they are on their own page. Got little alien ears poking out of them. They should be in the alien cars, not Matty Smacker. Give them alien cars. So Niffy's come in the pits. What's Niffy doing? I think Niffy's had enough. So we see Niff now in the pits. He's sat in the pits for quite a while now. He's had enough of the race. You know, Niffy's not here to win championships, he's here to have a good time anyway. So Fozzie 2 seconds over Ando, who is Benno is over 20 seconds behind them. Chibi is another 20 seconds behind them. He's managed to get ahead of Goju. So we missed that. We didn't see that happen. Goju's got much better tyres though. So you could see Goju kind of in the next 5 minutes make a move on Chibi pending any mistakes there. And Greeny's 2 seconds behind them. I think Greeny is still the only car. Him and Sharts, I think. Greeny's coming in the pits now. So Greeny with a very late pit. So Chibi 4th, Goju 5th, Matty Smacker in 6th spot at the moment. See Greeny's pit crew waiting for him. Waiting ever so patiently. It seems like it's a very, very long pit lane. Greeny throws on a fresh set of boots and he comes out behind Mr. Anderson, the head of Old Man Sharts there. See Foz and Ando making their way up to Kifo now. So Kifo's about to get lapped. They still look like they're about probably 2.5 odd seconds. He's just getting flashed those blue flags now. Stunning livery there that Kifo's got on. Foz and Ando, there's 1-2 there. They've lapped the entire field up to 7th spot at the moment. Just go through, we've got Fozzie, who's been doing consistent 108s, a few 109s thrown in there, and Ando the same. 108, so 109 in there as well. Then there's a 108, which is his fastest lap, mostly 109s, and a 110 now by Benno, who's sitting in 3rd. Chibi's done 110s most of his race. So has Goju 10s, a couple of 11s in there. Goju's now 1.2 seconds behind Chibi. Just needs to dig deep. He's got just over 7 minutes remaining, so he's got about 8 laps, 7 laps to go. See if he can do anything about it. We'll just jump on board. Nice and smooth on the throttle, nice and smooth on that steering. Losing a couple of tenths here and there, he's gaining a couple of tenths here and there. Just see Sharks just pull over and get out of the way of Goju and Chibi here. And if he's still in the pits. So Foz has now got Ando less than a second behind him, only half a second behind him now. Ando with much better tyre too. It's race on, 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go. So you got Foz and Ando battling for first, Benno in 3rd, Chibi in 4th, Goju in 5th, Matty Smack in 6th, Gifo in 7th, Gravy in 8th, Mr. Anderson in 9th, Greeny in 10th, Sharts in 11th, and Niffy in the pits having some Pizza Hut with the boys in his Pizza Hut team. So Ando right on the back of Fozzie here now. He's been very patient all race. I thought he could potentially do the no stop. But that did not happen. He came into the pits a couple of laps after Fozzie did, so he's got better tyres and he was doing better on his tyre wear as well. See, he's just over the back of him here. He's not being too aggressive. So we have 5 minutes to go now, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes to go. Fuel has not been an issue for anybody, which is good. That's great. See, Foz gains a couple of tenths, Ando gains a couple of tenths back. And coming up to lap traffic again. This is the battle for first and second. This is our closest battle on track, guys. See Foz cover the inside. Ando thought about it. It's now going to take a wider entry point. Fozzie parks it on the apex. Good defense by Fozzie here. Ando's not losing his cool, he's staying patient. We see Sharts just jump out of the way there, let the boys through, doesn't impede the battle whatsoever. Good work. So there's definitely a couple of points in the track where Foz seems like he's a little bit stronger, and then a couple of points in the track where Ando seems like he's stronger. Ando's got a bit of a run on him here. Fozzie's going to cover the inside. Ando's going to go for all the slipstream he can and duck over at the last second. Gets that wider entry. Foz runs deep trying to cover the inside and Ando takes the position. And it's not over. It's not over between these two. Now Ando's got the pressure of Fozzie behind him with 3 minutes to go in the race, ladies and gentlemen. Much in it. Got more blue flags in front of him. That's Matty Smacker there in 6th place. He's going to have to move over to the side in a minute. He'll probably do that on the straight. He's got a bit of space ahead of him. So we see him just move over and get out of the throttle there. Lets Ando and Fozzie through. Go back and see that move now that Ando's got a bit of space. So we saw Ando just goes to the outside. They both have the same braking point. Foz just runs that little bit deep though, and it just allows Ando to sneak through. And then Fozzie tries to go for a bit of a move around the outside, put some pressure on. Now Ando has assumed the lead. He's now stretched that out to 3/4 of a second. So with 1.5 minutes left, Ando is your leader now. So he's led the last 3 minutes of the race, essentially it'll be. Doesn't matter where you are in the race, it just matters where you finish. So Fozzie's now picked up a penalty as well, so that's pretty much going to seal the deal here. These two at the front will have 2 laps to go. So Ando is now almost 2 seconds ahead of Fozzie. Can Fozzie make a miracle happen with 1 minute left? So we'll just go through your field. In the last minute of the race, we have Ando in first, Fozzie in second, Benno 30 seconds behind that battle in third, and then 30 seconds back behind that is Chibi. And then Goju still hasn't really let Chibi go. He's a 1.5 seconds back. He hasn't managed to claw any time into it, but he hasn't really lost that much time. And Matty Smacker in 6th. He's just missed his braking point there. Hasn't got any cars around him. He's not going to lose a spot. We've got Giffo in 7th, Gravy in 8th, Mr. Anderson in 9th, with Greenie closing the gap on him. We might see Greenie get the spot off Mr. Anderson here. And then Shart's in 11th and Niffy's still chewing on some Pizza Hut. Ando comes around for one more lap. Fozzie comes around for one more lap. So it looks like it'll be Giffo with a bit of an expression session here. Using up the rest of his fuel. Doing some skids bar. He's going to come home in 7th position. Then you've got Gravy in 8th position. He's just finishing up now. Old Man Sharts crosses the line in 11th. You've got Mr. Anderson and Greeny here about to cross the line. Work everyone, that wasn't easy. Benno's already crossed the line in 3rd. We'll have Chibi and Goju, the next couple have come across the line. So it'll be Chibi in 4th, Goju in 5th. Only Smacker will finish in 6th, and now 3 seconds up the road. Ando, he waited for the last few minutes to pounce. He pounced and he pulled away. Convincing win from him. Good work for Foz too. He led that entire race up until the last few minutes. So that is a great job by everyone. Well done everyone. That was good viewing. That was good to watch. It's a good battle up the front all race. They stayed within a second or two of each other the entire race. And it wasn't until the last 3 minutes or so that Ando managed to make a move on Foz after putting pressure on him for a couple of laps. Foz made the mistake into turn 1, Ando capitalised and just pulled away from that. Well done, everyone. So we'll just quickly go over. That was Ando in 1st, Fozzie 2nd, Benno 3rd, Chibi in 4th with Goju not far behind him in 5th, Matty Smack 6th, Giffo in 7th, Gravy in 8th, Mr. Anderson 9th. Greeny in 10th, Sharts in 11th, and Niffy with the forfeit. Just jump in with the boys now.
I'm 60-40. So a lot of that weight's over the front axle. Yeah.
Yeah, 59-41, so, yeah. Giffo, I haven't got it's good. We were just talking about the cars feeling heavy, and when you actually do the race, you get to the end of it, and you do actually feel like you've done a much longer race just in your ups, just from the weight through the wheels. So
yeah. Yeah, no, so Old Man Sharts did the no stop. I honestly thought there were a couple of people there that could have pulled off the no stop.
Yeah, I was lap 18 and I had just under half wear, but then I thought that's just going to accelerate towards the end of the race.
Yeah, look, I was probably in about the same boat as you. I was just off half or just around half, but thought that because my laps were starting to drop off a bit, even with just that, I thought I'd change. Yep. Are they spot on the same? They'd have to be close. Oh, yeah. That's interesting, but because if you do look, that's like me, you, and Matt Smacker. Matt Smacker's actually quicker than us as well. And then you've got Grave, quicker than us. I mean, Giffo's isn't actually that far behind. These, the top three are a fair bit quicker than us, but these should be pretty competitive for the rest of the season, I think. This should be a good series. I got 2.5 seconds, which, to be honest, is like as compared to what I got in qualifying. I got
the results say Niff is still running.
Yeah, he's still doing circle work out there somewhere.
No, that was good to watch. The cars looked amazing going around together.
Oh yeah. Everyone's car's prepared really well. Actually, you're dead right. Like the actual look of the cars, everyone's had a really good go at deliveries. Oh. Have you got the replays of that, Giffo?
No, I didn't grab the replay of that one, Koji.
So
I grabbed the replay. It's all right.
Sweet. Can you upload that one too? Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll upload it in a minute.
I have to go do last
You don't
night's
have to
round.
explain. You just,
Yeah.
you know, you're allowed to.
My head was about to explode about an hour ago. Shit.
What track are we at next week?
Next week is Tokyo East counterclockwise in the wet.
Gonna throw it up?
Jesus Christ.
Sure, I'll throw it up. I'll give you the heads up. It starts moist and then dries out.
Oh.
And then there's torrential downpour halfway through, so.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
Another nice
definitely
challenge.
throw it up then. Oh, yeah. Did you see what I did last night, Greenie? I was hosting last night. We had a red flag. And one of the things, because of high speed ring, I still had my tyres set to intermediate. So I changed them. For the race. Then no dramas. Red flag. As soon as it red flags and we reset the lobby, it goes back. So I started on inters. That was great. Yeah.
Do you know
when you're hosting, you're thinking about other stuff rather than that. Like I was thinking about setting the grid and all that sort of stuff.
Do you know what was the worst part, Goju?
What?
You didn't even pit on the first lap.
No, it was like the second lap because I did. You know why? Because I didn't realise. I looked down and went, why does this thing feel like it's slippery as? And then, why is my tyres like 30 or 40% worn? And I was then, now I see why.
All right, boys. Thanks very much.
Catch you later, man.
See you tomorrow.
See you, man.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good night.
Fuck, there will be a fucking another hard pink and turquoise car for him to beat tomorrow.
I'll be back in 1 second.
You trying it on dry tyres, hey, Chips?
I'll be back in a second, guys.
Oh. I forgot it was in reverse.
Yeah, you're going to want wet tyres.
What track is it? East counterclockwise, is that the one where it's got two long straights? Or is it just a single long straight?
I said I'll do my two. I gave you that one. Oh, no.
And you go like into that container area and go left, is that at the start? Is that correct?
What? Yeah. I don't.
As long as it's not Tokyo Central, man, I fucking hate that track.
You don't need it. It's not gonna make it any. I've already got it. No. Yeah. No.
Oh, the paddock or whatever they call it. I'm still upset on the back of the game. It said it was multiplayer up to 20 people. And then you buy the game and play it, and it's not.
Yeah, but it says there's multiple 20 drivers in the offline, isn't there?
Yeah, but it said multiplayer 2 to 20. Like in the little things down the back, on the back of the game.
What a stitch up.
They lied to us. Yeah, I think 20 needs to be the minimum.
It'll be a while before the next game, I reckon. Anyway, I've got to go do these points, so I'll see you all later. Catch up.
There you go.
Dad.
Oh, that's the 3.5 litre V6, isn't it? I've got VQ35. Yeah, that's the engine that's in my van. VQ35. Well, I'm going to jump off, guys. I'll leave the lobby up for a little bit for you guys if you want. And thanks for coming in tonight. Have a good one. Alright, well that's going to be us for tonight. That was the first round of the Street2Track MARC Cars series. Pretty successful, you know, grid of 12 people. Everyone kind of went with the same strategy, which was a one-stop. But yeah, this is the next week's track here is Tokyo in the rain, so it's going to be a bit interesting to see what people do and the strategies that get thrown out. We are going to raid out. For the moment, we are going to go and find somebody to raid out to. Stiggy's playing soccer. go visit Crazy Good Kung Fu. So if you don't know Crazy Good Kung Fu, he's playing ACC at the moment. He does also have a team in some Gran Turismo 7 events called Kung Fu Racing. He's also one of the commentators in the Motormotion broadcasts. So go jump in, give him a follow, say hey to him, show him some love. Thank you again, guys, for showing up tonight and making tonight what it was. Really appreciate it. And until next time, look after yourselves.